Distinguishing judgment. Judgment is the act of labeling someone or something good or bad. And I do really like the old parable of the wise farmer who came across a beautiful horse, and his neighbors said, how wonderful for you. And he said, we'll see, maybe. And then his son tried to break in the horse and ride it and broke his leg. And his neighbors again, oh, terrible, and how terrible. And the farmer said, well, we'll see, maybe. And then war broke out, and all the able young men were drafted, and his son was kept out of the draft because of the broken leg. And so his neighbors said, well, how fortunate. And the farmer said, we'll see. And so it goes on to demonstrate that sometimes things are not as they appear. So it's better to refrain from judging things, judging people. And it's been a really good exercise for me to contemplate where my judgment is and how that judgment keeps me separated from others and keeps me from loving people unconditionally, and how it's a self-reflection of my own self-judgment, and I am the biggest judge of myself, and that I am being judged as much as I am judging. I can see how that would work. I have felt the power of the statement of all things work for good. That has been alive for me. I still do have a dilemma about distinguishing discernment and judgment. Discernment is still a form of judgment, as much as we don't like to judge, that some forms of judgment, like discernment, are necessary to distinguish between what is working and what isn't working. There is that sort of belief that love is all there is, and I want to believe that. I just somehow I have a hard time believing that evil doesn't exist. I know there is that sort of saying that evil does not know itself, but I imagine, I'm using my words carefully, that there is evil that knows itself quite well, and I'm talking about things like satanic child sacrifice, which, if you're paying attention, is alive and in some very prominent places in the world, and warmongering and war profiteering. Like, is my discernment, is my judgment of that, is that wrong? The idea that I'm supposed to love that in some way, or just accept it, I have a hard time not judging that. And so I'd love some feedback on that, or what you think about it. I just think it's just like, labeling ego as all wrong. I think the ego is a necessary component. A healthy ego, in order to transcend it and be on this plane of existence, it's necessary, and to demonize it completely can be problematic. And I think judgment is the same way. If we are made in the image of the Creator, and the Creator has judges based on righteousness, do we not also need to judge in certain I'm open to being corrected. I'm open to a conversation, because it is a bit of a dilemma for me. So that's my video on judgment.